64 laps to go. Larry, if you stop now, maybe you could make it all the way, and Stewart is going to do just that.
He is stopping right now. It's going to be close. We heard him say he's going to be close, maybe a lap shy. He had slowed the car down, trying to conserve fuel. He comes to pit road with 63 laps to go. It's going to be close, Matt Yoakum.
And Larry, this stop could be worth $1 million for this Home Depot crew. They kept telling Tony lap after lap, float it in, get out of the gas earlier. Zippy told him, you got to help me out of fuel. We're probably about half a lap shy, but you never know as Stewart hits his marks here for what could be his final stop. Jeff Gooch Patterson puts up the big first can, grabs the second as little Mikey Lingerfeld comes around to the left side on this 20 car. Shaggy throws the second can. Stewart has never won a Noble 5, and he's long gone. Steve Burns.
Well, Matt, team manager Tony Glover was worried that Sterling may run out of gas, but luckily he made it in here. This is the big stop. Clay Robinson on the front tires, Nate Cannon on the back. The jackman is Greg Posey, Jerry Swipes on the gas. No chassis adjustments on that number 40 Dodge of Sterling Marlin, and he is away.
Ricky Rudd and Jimmy Spencer stop. Jerry Nadeau, Michael Waltrip, Jeff Burton is in. Kurt Busch comes in.
And let me tell you, a driver, they're doing the right thing. They're not waiting until 15, 20 laps to go and say, hey, we need another lap. You got to let that driver know way in advance so he can start thinking about that, because he can save you. A driver can get you a couple, 3 extra laps if he knows it in time.
Kurt Busch pits as the leader. Dick Berggren.
And Sean Parker went to each and every one of these crew members and yelled into his helmet exactly what he wanted him to do, especially with the fuel man, Doug Newell. He said, get it full, get it full. He told him twice, and he yelled loud enough I could hear him about 10 feet away. They want to make sure they can go all the way to end. This guy is still a contender.
Good news for the 26 of Joe Nemechek as he gets those 4 tires. And Larry Mack, I'm never one to second guess you, but these tires do stink, as in smell. And they also were stinking it up on the track, so he's happy to get those. Almost stalled the car out, but they were able to take off.
Ryan Newman, Rusty Wallace, Rick Mast, Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon making pit stops.
Joe Nemechek in the 26 cost himself a little bit of time here as he was getting ready to leave the pits. DW, this is easy to happen.
This can happen. You're sitting there, you're anxious, you want to get going. You think you got it in first gear, and guess what?
You have it in reverse. These are regular 4-speed transmissions with a reverse. You have to have reverse, and it has to work.
So he's sitting there juking around. He gets it in reverse and doesn't know it.
And look who our leader is. Jimmie Johnson has taken the lead.
And remember, he can run probably another 10 or 12 laps because he pitted about 10 or 12 laps off the other leaders a little bit later.
Fuel is not a problem for him. And the other good news for him is he's going to end up with the best tires at the end of the run.
We're going to pit 2 laps. Keep digging.
Keep digging, baby.
2 laps.
2 more laps, keep digging.
Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon complete pit stops and come back out.
What Jimmie Johnson would love to see in those 2 laps is Tony Stewart in the 20 car comes up on him in a hurry with those 4 fresh tires. He'd love to see a caution in these 2 laps, but Tony wants to get by him because that will actually put Tony back on the lead lap.
Yeah, Tony wouldn't mind seeing get by him right here and see a caution himself, because that would put a lot of cars between he and Jimmie Johnson.
Oh, they take him 3 wide. Jimmie Johnson tried to use the one of Kenny Wallace as a pick, and Tony just drove under both of them.
Hard to do with 60-something lap tires versus 4 fresh tires.
Kenny Wallace did a good job. It's when you always tell the drivers when you get run up on like that, hold your line. Don't try to move. Don't go one way or the other. Hold your line. Everybody will find their way around you.
Dave Blaney and Buckshot Jones making pit stops. Mayfield comes onto pit road as well, and Dale Jarrett. Now Joe Nemechek getting past as you see Jarrett's pit stop.
Something's wrong with it. The 26 car heard him go by then. It's got a cylinder down.
Steve?
Mike, I'm in the 88. Dale Jarrett got right side tires. Only adjustment, air pressure in the right front tire for Dale Jarrett. Left side tires on, and he's away.
Matt Kenseth making a stop under green as well.
Critical stop for all these teams because they know it could be their last time on pit road.
Now, Larry, if you're Jimmie Johnson and you don't have to come in for 10 laps, why bring him in now?
You know, I'm not going to run too far because I'm getting beat on these 4 fresh tires that everybody has, and I'd move myself into the top 10. If I don't have a good car, I'm going to stay out there and play the caution flag game.
You got to stay even with these guys, and all you got to stay even with is get the same tires they got.
Bill Elliott is in, Bobby Labonte and Todd Bodine on pit road, and here comes the leader.
Well, just to give you an example, Jimmie Johnson's last lap was 34.14. Tony Stewart's out there running 33.50s, over a half a second a lap. Jeannie Zalasko.
And Larry Mack, you are right. They think they have a great car, so why not come in and get the 4 tires? No adjustments are planned because this car has been running great. Of course, he's going to take some fuel as well. And ironically, as we just saw Jimmie Johnson go 3 wide about a lap or 2 back, he was just told, look, keep the fenders clean. We do have a great car, and this is our race.
Got a problem on the right front there. Had to put that lug nut back on. Again, costly time on pit road.
John Andretti in the pits, so is Stacy Compton, and Joe Nemechek is back up to speed. Might have been an ignition box, we're told, and Nemechek switches over to the redundant backup system, and he is back up to speed. So Dale Earnhardt Jr. becomes the leader. It's the first time he has led today.
And he, along with Jimmie Johnson, was one of those cars that pitted on lap 155. He's playing the caution flag game. Darrell, he don't have as good a car as Jimmie Johnson.
Nope.
Stay out there and let's see if we can get us a caution flag.
Everybody has a different strategy. If you're good, you got to do one thing. If you're not, you got to think another way.
You race your race when you don't have a good race car.
That's right. You try to figure out how am I going to capitalize.
Here he comes into the pits. Kevin Harvick is in. Casey Atwood is also pitted.
Look at the front, Bailey.
Tony Eury Jr. on the front tires of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car. They will make a chassis adjustment. Right side tires on. Eury to the left side. Jack underneath. Left side tires going on for Dale Earnhardt Jr. And they did make a chassis adjustment to the right rear of that car. Let's go to Jeannie.
An update on the 26 guys. The engine has a bad miss, but they're going to try and ride it out.
Thanks, Jeannie. Terry Labonte, Kenny Wallace making pit stops. Brett Bodine, who has a one-race sponsor.
Kyle Petty leading the race. He got so excited he almost missed pit road.
They brought that's the best entrance to pit road I've seen other than Sterling's. I thought his was pretty cool. But Kyle really shot that thing on pit road, and he was leading the race.
First time he's led the race since Atlanta in November.
That'll pump you up. Led the race under green.
Now Ward Burton in the 22 car. Ward's big adventures continues. He's now leading the race after being a lap down, and he too pitted on lap 155.
We saw he and his brother have a whale of a race here a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago.
Matt?
A little Stephen Patsavoris already pulled off the tearaway off the windshield to help Kyle's visibility. They are going to make an adjustment on this 45 car. He came in the leader. He started 11th, hoping to turn around this 45 team, and especially it's been a big help with Robin Peppernick coming on board, guys.
Jeff Green makes a stop. Kyle is the 12th different leader of the day. 18 lead changes.
Larry, maybe you know the answer, maybe Matt does. Where is Robin? Is he in the pits? Is he spotted? Where's he at today?
What I've seen him is he will roam around during the race. You know, he'll work between the 3 teams, kind of talking about air pressure setup, fuel mileage, things of that nature.
Ward Burton is our leader at 217 laps. Tony Stewart has the 2nd spot. Sterling Marlin is 3rd. Ryan Newman and Hut Strickland are the top 5 here in Las Vegas on Fox.